Hello and welcome to another Friday and another gua sha video in the forest. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And can you hear the wonderful birds? There's one beautiful thing about living here. There are so many birds, and when you wake up in the morning, the sound is deafening of all the different birds which are all around in the forest. So in today's video, we're having a look at a question that's often asked of me, and that's about the duration of gua sha. And so the question normally is, how long do I treat a certain area? Maybe you want sha to come to the surface of the skin, and in order to do that, you're thinking, well, how long do I scrape in that one area? And the answer is quite simple, really. Well, the answer is, it depends. That's one of my favorite answers to anything. And because it's actually the reality of most things, is that very few things are black and white, and most things are shades of grey. So if I was treating inflammation or some illness or some heat, or some febrile problem with someone's got fever and too much heat, then I'm going to do it a lot stronger than if someone's just got a bit of a sore muscle or feels stressed. So that's what I mean by it depends. It depends who the person is, how strong they are, what's the problem, and how you're going to deal with it. However, there are some general principles that we can apply to using gua sha and knowing how long to do in a certain area before you move on. So the last thing you want to do is to hurt someone and to cause discomfort by doing gua sha. The whole idea is to relieve discomfort, not increase discomfort. So here's my tool. So if you start scraping, let's suppose you're scraping someone's back, and you start scraping, and then how many scrapes have I done now? That's about 10. And now if sha's coming out to the skin, you would kind of know it by now. There'll be some sign. Now there's a certain way of doing gua sha, which is the way I do it, and I really don't know if many other people do it that way. But the way I do it is to use the non-dominant hand. So if you're not sure what that means, there is a video on this channel which talks about using the non-dominant hand. And so just so you know, this is the dominant hand. I'm going to swap my hands now. And this is the non-dominant hand. In my case, it's the left hand. Now that hand is the one that's going to tell you how long you can be in an area of the skin. This hand feels over the surface of the skin in front of where you're scraping, and you can tell where the tension is. So if there's an area with absolutely no tension, it is possible for sha to come onto the skin, but it's going to come quite quickly because it's very superficial. And there are plenty of times when you just get the tool and you scrape, and by the second time you can see the sha coming onto the skin. So that will be in the superficial tissue. So when it's slightly deeper and you can actually feel the tension which is in the connective tissue underneath, and you can feel that with your non-dominant hand, then you know that there's tension there, and so you can continue in that area for 20 strokes, and then if it's clearly nothing coming up, leave it, continue on, and then perhaps go on to the other side and come back a little bit later and go over that area and see if something's going to come again. But the mistake will be to keep scraping in the same place, which will cause a lot of red marks on the skin, but it won't be sha. It is possible that sha is coming from a deeper level, and so more pressure will bring it out. But this is the thing I can't really explain in this video. This comes with experience, and this is why I teach people, because you can't just tell people stuff. I've got to actually explain it in detail. So essentially what you should get out of this is to be responsive to the person that you're using gua sha on, and use the tool to scrape 20 to 30 times maximum over one area and move on. Now, if you actually watch me, and there are some of the videos on this channel is me treating, there's one where I treat the back. If you watch what I'm doing, I'm not concentrating on just one spot. I'm covering a bit of a larger area initially to see what's happening with the tension and the sha. So if you haven't seen that, have a look at it, and there's a link somewhere up here for that. So it's almost the end of asparagus season, and this year's been a bit different because there's been a lot less than there were last year. I think with the changes in the temperatures and the weather this year. But soon it's going to be St. John's wort season, and I'll show you that because they're just everywhere here. So if you like picking St. John's wort and making various things, we make oil out of it, then I'll show you that in about a month. They'll be coming out. Well, I hope you have a good week, and I'll be seeing you next week.